Good, dude. I just got back from ghost hunting in Nevada.
Damn.
That was really terrifying.
I bet. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm happy to be back in LA.
Yeah, absolutely. So, how'd you get into like ghost hunting and that kind of stuff?
Uh, so, I mean, it all started like when I had some paranormal experiences when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So, I guess, yeah, so what happened was I grew up in a very like Christian household, and we
Yeah.
were like told not to like do like mess with like any like occult stuff or anything like, or like we're not supposed to play with the Ouija boards and stuff like that. And like, so my sister, she went over to a friend's house, and she had her friend had a Ouija board, and they were messing with it or whatever, and then they said they heard like this evil laugh, and they started like freaking out, and they came back to our house, and they're like, they're crying, and we're like, what happened? Like, what is going on? And then they're like, yeah, we heard this evil laugh, and like, while we were playing with the Ouija board, we knew we weren't supposed to do it. And I was like, the first thing that came to my head was like, dude, we have to burn this thing. Oh, and like, dude, and that's like literally, I found out later, it's like the number one thing you're not supposed to do with a Ouija board.
Really?
Or like a spirit board or whatever.
Do not burn.
Yeah. Don't do it.
Wait, how old were you at this time?
I was probably in like 8th grade.
Okay.
Yeah.
How old are you now?
I'm 33.
Okay, I'm 31, so
Yeah.
we're right around the same age.
Yeah.
Shit, okay. Was it the Toys R Us one?
I don't know what they had, or if it was like just like a spirit board or an actual Ouija board. But they were freaked out. So we have it. So like I went and got it, and like we were like, okay, we're gonna burn this way. I put it in the fire pit that's in our backyard, and like I'm pouring gas on it. I'm like spraying it with brake parts cleaner. I'm doing all this, like putting all this flammable stuff on it. It will not burn, dude. It won't burn at all. Like it took like half an hour for me to get it to start on fire.
No way.
And then finally it catches on fire, and it starts burning, and then like all the embers from the fire, like from it burning and everything, just like turn into a little face. and it kind of looks like it had like little devil horns, and then it like there was like a breeze, and it like picked up and like just floated away, and like we're all like, what the fuck is going
face
on?
is just floating away.
Yeah, and then it just like disappeared, and then after that some like paranormal stuff happened in my house. Yeah.
Dude,
Like,
all kind of stuff. I love this kind of stuff, man. I grew up like this too. I grew up in a Christian and Catholic home.
Yeah.
And same thing. We played the Ouija board when I was like in middle school, and was told not to. Like it was a part of the reason why I also went down this whole path of like esotericism, occultism, and but yeah, what other things started happening for you?
So one night I was just like taking a shower, and I felt like someone put their hand on my back. And it was terrifying. And it freaked me the fuck out. And then
old ghosts and shit.
Yeah.
Let me help you out here.
Yeah.
Fucking.
And I was like trying to write it off. Like, oh, it must have like been like a shift, like maybe I had the window open, like a shift of wind, like something. And then like I'm like in my room playing video games, and my sister's in the bathroom, and I hear her scream. And she like doesn't tell me like what happened. I was like, why did you scream?
Yeah.
And then like like later, and a couple days go by, happens again, and then I'm like, what happened?
Yeah.
And she was like, it felt like someone like touched my back, and I was like, what the fuck? And it just scared the shit out of me. And then like I don't know, like there's really like the other things was just like they're like we had a basement like in our house. I grew up in Indiana.
Yeah.
And like my basement was just super creepy. It always sounded like sometimes it would sound like someone was like walking up and down the stairs like in the basement, and that was like really creepy. And then I had like some different
Whoa,
what was
what
that?
The fuck? Yo, some weird shit just happened behind the camera. Like, what was that? I think the blind just slid down.
Yeah.
Ah, shit.
But but yeah, it was just like, some weird stuff, like, just typical basement stuff. But,
Yeah.
and then like, I mean, other than that, like, uh,
Did you ever
yeah.
hear like voices? You ever hear voices?
Never heard any voices or like saw anything.
Nothing. Oh, they just
It was just like some little things like that.
Yeah.
Like, but then like later on in life, like it was probably like when I was in high school, like around senior year. Like my friends, like we were watching Ghost Adventures and stuff a lot.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, like what if we went and like tried to find some haunted places that are around us?
Yeah.
And like, what if then I had been, I filmed a lot of stuff when I was younger too. I had a bunch of viral videos when I was younger, like just doing Jackass type stuff.
Yeah.
That's how like the whole video thing started for me, was because of Jackass and just being inspired by that and then wanting to film crazy stuff. And I was like, well, this will be pretty crazy. Like, let's go like find some haunted place and like film it. And like see if it's haunted or not. We didn't have any like actual gear other than the camera.
Just some old school fucking.
Yeah, because like
mom's camera and shit.
I wouldn't even know where to like find like ghost hunting gear at that point in my life.
Right. What the hell?
But yeah, so we went and like we took like some Polaroid cameras too to like see if we could find like get orbs and stuff like in the pictures, like and.
Probably the only thing people had back then was like baby monitors.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you put a baby monitor around, like, are you there?
Yeah. And we found this one like old boys' school that was like that was abandoned. It got like abandoned for like some reason. I forgot why. But it shut down, and it said it on like we looked up like Haunted Indiana, and there was just that was like one of the places, and we went there, and it was like super overgrown. There was like a 1/4 mile like driveway, like to get up like to the place, and it was, it was locked up, so you couldn't actually just walk in, and we had to like hop this fence and stuff, and we had to park in like a different neighborhood and like walk over there. But we get over the fence, we're walking, and then we're just walking on this driveway, this really long driveway to get up there, and like when we started walking, it's out of nowhere, we just heard this like dog. Like we could hear like a dog's collar, and it sounded like a dog was like running up like from behind us. And we were like freaking out, so we all just start running, and we get there, and we finally get to the front of the building, and like there's no like. We get to the front of the building and we think the dog just ran away because like we're all like we never really thought anything of it, but we kept going back there like multiple times, and that would always happen. And like the second or third time, I was like, dude, like where is this dog at? Because like we can hear it.
So it's like a ghost dog or something.
We like turned around, like I turned around like one of the times, and I was like, dude, there's literally nothing behind us. And that was like terrifying. Oh shit. But we got like some orbs and stuff in there. There wasn't really any like crazy activity inside. And then sometimes we would just end up smoking weed or something like on the top of the building,
Like, yo, all right, ghost, you want us to smoke? Like, chill out,
yeah.
So you're still doing it now? I mean, after all these years, like about how many times a month do you go and do this kind of stuff?
It's just sort of every once in a while right now. I mean, I have a bunch more gear. Honestly, after this most recent one though, I'm like sort of rethinking like how much I want to do it, because it was a lot scarier this time than any previous time, because it was also a little bit different because like I had to stay there, like I actually had to stay there, and it gave me like a different like a new respect for like the people that actually stay in the place that they're like investigating like overnight. Because like when we walked in, it was like, okay, this is like kind of the energy is a little off in here,
you
know.
You
can
feel it, man. You can feel it like when it's there.
Yeah, and it was So
what actually happened this time that made you think like, all right, you know what, fuck this?
It was just like, because I have this thing called the ovulus. It's like it's pretty much a word bank that if there's like, it works off environmental changes, which would be like spirits, like, so like that, and they can like choose words to say, and you can like ask any kind of question. It doesn't have to be like yes or no or whatever. It can be that, but you can also just ask, like, you can have a straight up conversation if they're like willing to.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes like nothing will happen. Sometimes it'll say stuff.
So it's like Google Translate, but for ghosts.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And it was
Maybe
just
he's Chinese, bro. Dial it. You know?
like we filmed a video for it. I don't want to divulge like too much from what happened, but like we were having like some straight up conversations with some people that seemed to have passed there, and it was kind of it was just like really scary, dude. It was like not.
No, I feel you.
Yeah, and then like my friend Hex that I was investigating with, also that he was there on the investigation. He got like, he felt like he saw something like behind me when we were filming, and that was like pretty scary. Yeah.
That's my worst fear. Like, you know, being at home and like trying to film like a little video and then like play it back later, and there's a fucking like ghost behind me or some shit.
Yeah. Well, like that's the thing. Like that would scare me even more. Like after looking at the footage,
like,
and like,
oh, it was like there the whole time.
Yeah. And like also this place is a clown motel, so there's like, and they have the room painted like all crazy, because I guess like the story behind it is like we stayed in the most haunted room.
Yeah, you and your girlfriend.
Yeah, me and my girlfriend stayed in the most haunted room, and it was like, so before that like, I guess someone was either killed in the room or they died in the room. Some people had died in the room, so they didn't have that room like as a room in the hotel, and it was just like a storage closet. But other people that were in the hotel on each side of the room, like when they were renting out the other rooms on the sides of it, they would like end up like complaining to management, like the people in this room are like being really loud, like they're like, you know, like all night, and then they would be like, there's no one in that room.
Like, sorry to tell you, dude, nobody's in there.
So they open it back up, and then like, you know, like Ghost Adventures have been there, a bunch of other people have been there. But yeah, it was pretty crazy. Like, and I guess it's also like an old mining town. It's like, it's in Tonopah, Nevada. It's like there was like a mining accident that happened. Yeah. A bunch of people died, and there's a cemetery right next to the hotel.
Oh, it's just got everything right there.
Yeah.
I've heard two separate stories of people seeing ghosts, and both of them were described as like people from like the 1800s. Like, yeah. For some reason, it's always like people from like the 1800s or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like, it was really, yeah, it's pretty much like that, like, because, I mean, those, like, the people, I think this was like it was like literally like 1903, like when this, or around that time when this accident happened. What? 1911. Okay, it was 1911.
Crazy time.
But there's some people in the cemetery there from like 1903 and on or whatever. Yeah. And yeah, there was, but yeah, we kept getting a couple different names they were coming through. Yeah. And then it also came through on the Ouija board that we had.
Oh, no way. So you were playing the Ouija board out there too?
Yeah. And then when we went out then it was kind of crazy, because when we went out to the cemetery, it kept saying the same names. So like,
what were their names?
Yeah, so like,
what were the names? If you can share.
Yeah. One of them was Rhonda. What was the other one? It was oh my gosh. And also it kept just referring to one of them. Yeah, it kept referring to one of them as M. Yeah, just the letter M, which was really weird because, okay, first off, like when using, okay, on the Ouija board, getting just one letter or something is pretty normal. Okay. But getting it on the Ovilus also, just the one, I've never gotten just the letter M, like by itself.
So you got it on both of them.
Yeah, I got it on both of them. And that was really scary. And
so what are your thoughts on like the Ouija board? Because I played it when I was a kid, and I feel like it was placebo, but like have you like really felt it like moving?
Yeah, I mean, also it's just like, you know, you gotta like trust who you're using it with, you know? Okay. And like if you're like, I don't really know like the science behind it or any of that, or if there even is any science, you know, like, or if it's just like, I don't know. I think if you're wanting it to work, it can.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's something like
That's
that.
kind of what it all is, really. Like, I've written a few books, and one of them is about consciousness and you know, and multi-dimensional reality and quantum physics and stuff like that. And it's all kind of like that. Like even the reality that we live in is it's an interface where we get what we put in. It's all kind of like that. So even the paranormal side of it is more so like that. It's like the more you give it, the more it's going to give to you.
Yeah.
And that's why, like in my house, it's funny we're talking about this because like I actually just had a kind of a ghost experience the other night. I'll tell you about it in a second, but my girlfriend, she's super spiritual. She has no problem interacting with, you know, other entities and ghosts and shit like that. But me, I'm like, stop doing that shit. I grew up with all that, and like, I don't want to like really be around that kind of stuff just because it's a nuisance. It can be a nuisance, you know?
Yeah.
But I understand like the science basically behind it is like the mind is a powerful thing. And ghosts and paranormal things, they're coming from what I would describe and what Carl Jung would describe is like the collective sub-psyche, right? It's like we all interface in the collective consciousness, but there's also a collective sub-psyche. It's hard to fathom, but it's kind of like this like back, you know, this underlyingness to everything. And that's kind of like what we're interacting with. Yeah. To briefly state the science behind it. And there's a lot of things that have come out to corroborate that. And I've touched on this before. My core audience knows about this kind of stuff. But yeah, there is some science now with quantum physics and whatnot that prove that, you know, there are underlying dimensions. And things are coming through that.